Hey guys, I get asked all the time here at a different chick farm and orchard, can I grow my figs in containers and in pots? A lot of people don't have the space, or they don't have the climate to grow a fig outdoors. Sometimes figs require a lot of space, and a lot of people just feel more comfortable planting it in container. So I'm going to show you some of ours that I'm getting ready to repot. I've already repotted a few here, but I'll show you how I repot our figs. First off, two things that we use. We use Daddy Pete's Nursery Blend, which is right here. It's great for containers, aerates the soil really well, keeps it moisturized. That's a big thing with container gardens in southern climates. Sometimes any climates, but we know in East Tennessee we have issues with it, is it dries out very easily. So it's great to have something that has some moisture retention to it. So the Daddy Pete's Nursery Blend is great for that. We also use, not on all the figs, but on some of them, especially when I'm repotting them, the Daddy Pete's Kickin' Chicken. It contains cow manure and rabbit manure that has been aged and composted. So it's really great to use, especially if you need that extra nitrogen, but it's also a good all-around fertilizer. So I like to mix that in when I am potting these, so it gives them that extra nutrition that they need. One other thing, I use Espoma's organic blood meal. It is actually great for blooms and roots, which is what you want on your figs. You don't get actually a bloom out of your fig, because a fig is basically a flower, and you eat the inside of the flower, which is the fig. So you never actually see a bloom on a fig. It actually grows. Got some that has started growing. This is one of my Isha Blacks. You can see right here, that's young little figs. So they just start out, and they technically actually bloom from the inside. There's some varieties that you actually have to have a specific wasp to pollinate them. You don't have to for these. Not even sure if we have those wasps in East Tennessee. But you'll get bigger as they go along. This is actually one of my giant ambers. So let's get going. Let's see, we've got bigger pot here. For figs, I usually start them out in somewhere around a 1.5 to 1 gallon container, and then if I see that they're going to make it and do good, I'll transplant them so I can put them elsewhere if I'm not going to grow these. And these, I'm not for sure are actually going to make it in our climate outside, so that's why I'm keeping them in containers right now. So what I do is I will start off with a little bit of this Kickin' Chicken down in the bottom. Figs have really good root growth. That's actually the livelihood of a fig, is the roots. So you want to keep your figs very, very healthy, and the roots very healthy on there. So not too much. You don't want a whole lot of nitrogen. The nitrogen will cause you to have foliage, but not so much on the blooms. And with figs, you want fruit. You do have to have the foliage to help out, but you want fruit. So I am going to take some of this Espoma bone meal, which kind of looks just like a fine powder. Kind of looks like sand if you go to the beach. So we're going to sprinkle that some on the bottom. That'll also help those roots to get a good start. We're going to take some of our Daddy Pete's Nursery Blend. You can see how nice and healthy it looks. We'll put that in there. Got that in layers, but what I like to do is just take it and mix it around a little bit. That way everything gets mixed in. So, got a good base. Now we're going to take our fig and we'll go ahead and do, actually, we're going to do this Doda. This is the pot that it's came from, and you can see the roots are actually starting to grow out of it. And this is what we're going to be putting it in. This Cadota already has figs on it also. You see right there. Probably all roots because I can feel it all stuck together. So good, healthy root ball. Now, if you see weeds, you want to pick them out at this stage because you don't want to put any possibility of weeds in your new containers. So just pull those little suckers out. There is an earthworm in there. That's what we're looking for. We like those things. They actually help protect our plants. They're good for it. They help aerate the soil, and they fertilize the soil. We're going to stick this little guy back down in our pot. And check out our root system as we got going here. I just broke that little root, but it's okay. Got some more growing out here. So it was definitely ready for its new pot. So we're going to take the Daddy Pete's Nursery Blend and go around the edge with it. Now, if your plant is root bound and it's got roots just growing everywhere in it, and it's taken up all of the potting mix, you will want to kind of break apart the roots. This does not happen on these. I try to do that before it gets to that point. Sometimes you miss it. But that's what we're doing here. Probably have some later that I can show you that have been root bound. So you want to make sure you get them all around the edge. Pat it down, but don't pat it down too stiff because you want to keep all of that aerated soil going. So there's our Cadota fig in its new home. So what we're going to do, don't have to always do this, but I like to put a little extra bone meal on top. Sprinkle some on top. That way, as you water it or as it rains, it just kind of slowly goes back into the soil, giving it some of the nutrition it needs. So, there you go. Now, this guy looks like he was starting to get root bound. Also can see some bugs in here, which is good. We like bugs. We'll get this guy planted just shortly. This is our Maribel. This one's actually one of the ones I've been growing in the greenhouse. It is tall like a tree. Most of ours around here get bushy because they die off in the winter. But we're hoping this guy will stay tall, and then we can trim him up here as he gets too tall so we can keep him to the level we want him. Okay, we have got a Black Madeira here. It's actually pretty small. The thing with figs is the more space you give them to grow, the bigger they'll grow. This is actually the same age as all the rest of these here, but you can see the size difference in the different ones. And it's just, I had these guys in a smaller pot, so they didn't get as much room to grow. They didn't get quite the nutrition that everybody else did. So, good root growth here. You can see the soil breaking apart. That's good. That means it hasn't taken up all the nutrition in there. We're going to transplant it anyway, though. Let's see. Got an Isha green here. This guy has about taken up all his room for roots. You can see right here all those roots growing. They were getting ready to go down in the bottom. They're coming out of the side. So he is going to really appreciate his new home. Also got here. Now we're starting to do this and transplant these, mainly because they need bigger room. But as your fruit starts to grow, this is a Haitian white. I may have mentioned that one a minute ago. And this one actually, he was starting to get root bound, so he definitely needs some more space there. You can see all these roots growing. But if you look down here at the bottom, all that gathering together, he was getting ready to be root bound. So we'll go ahead and plant him next. So like we did on the other one, put some chicken down here in the bottom. And some Daddy Pete's nursery blend. I happen to have this small bag laying around, which is why I'm using it. It was actually from last year, but I actually buy these by the bigger bags. I believe in Espoma this one comes in a 24-pound bag. That's actually how we buy ours because we use so much of it. So if you only have a few figs, you know, a bag like this you can buy just about anywhere. I think they're $8.99 a bag. The bigger ones are usually around $25 a bag, but we use them so much and so much of it. That's how we buy ours. I want to sprinkle some of that in there and take it and just mix it around. Like I said, that gives them a good base. Feeds those roots really good. You just pull it right out of your pot, stick it right in here. Now, like as our other one, we'll take our Daddy Pete's nursery blend and fill in the sides. It was a little uneven, so we're gonna go ahead and put some on this side while holding it up. You want it even in your pot, right around the middle. You can have it offset, but it looks better if you just make sure that you have it even. Doesn't force any roots to go anywhere you don't want them. Like I said before, pull your weeds out so you don't have a problem later on. If you have as many figs as we do, weeding becomes a problem if you don't take care of it early on. So we like to take care of it while we're transplanting. So we're going to fill this guy up. Gently press it in. And then put a little bone meal on top. About the end of that bone meal. That in just a little bit. So there's our figs. That's how you repot them, and that's how we grow them in containers. We have ours growing anywhere from containers this size to small containers like this. And then as we first propagate them and grow them as 1-year trees, we actually have them in small, square, long pots. That gives them plenty of root growth. But it also allows us to ship them because we actually ship a lot of our figs out all over the United States to customers. So we also have some upwards of a 20-gallon pot. We've got some up at our greenhouse that are about 4 or 5 years old now that we keep in 20-gallon pots. They are actually getting ready to be moved and taken care of because they have used all that soil on the inside, so we need to repot them and take care of some of the roots. Some of the roots roots off and kind of start them anew. So if you got any questions, let us know. We'll try to help you. Thank you for watching.